Up here on the wall of the citadel, Damascus lies out before you. The capital of Syria, which thousands have fled to neighboring countries and Europe. This is one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities in the world. Join me on this tour of some of its most important sites, threatened by this devastating war. In the distance there, to the left, those mountains near the border with Lebanon have seen some fierce fighting. And to your right, a bird's-eye view of the historic old city, which despite the war remains the beating heart of the capital. And from here, you can see the 3 minarets of the Umayyad Mosque, one of the grandest and holiest in Islam. There are few places in the world like the Umayyad Mosque here in Damascus where you can feel the depth of history, a place that is sacred to so many different people and different religions. So follow me around. I want to point out a few different parts of this incredible mosque. Down there at the end, you can see those tall, beautiful pillars. Those were once part of the Roman Temple of Jupiter. But then in the 4th century, this became a church. And if you look up there, you can see the stunning mosaics of that church. Inside, there's a shrine to John the Baptist, whom Muslims revere as a great prophet. And then when the Muslims had taken over Damascus, in the 8th century, this became a mosque, one of the biggest and most beautiful mosques in the world. Down there at the end is another shrine that is said to contain the head of Hussein, the grandson of the prophet Muhammad. And then finally, up there, peeking out from over that roof, is a bell tower from when this was a church, and then a minaret built right on top of it. That's the minaret of Isa, or Jesus, and that's where many Muslims believe that Jesus will come back to earth. Here inside, the shrine of John the Baptist, with worshippers paying their respects. Just outside, it's a short walk to the gate where Paul the Apostle is said to have fled after converting to Christianity. And if you turn around, the entrance to the teeming Souk al-Hamidiyeh. Residents of Damascus, even as the war rages nearby, still come to this souk on a daily basis. They run errands here, they buy household goods, even lingerie. And if you look up, you can see the corrugated iron roof that still has bullet holes in it, dating back to World War I. But across town, in the now closed National Museum, archaeologists are racing against the clock to safeguard their country's treasures. At this station in the center of the room, they photograph the artifacts extracted from conflict zones and log their serial numbers, saved sometimes in the nick of time from ISIS and other looters. And then over here, these young volunteers pack them up carefully with cotton and gauze, placing them into these chests that will then be taken to top-secret storage facilities. Nearby, behind reinforced doors and multiple layers of security, rarely accessible, one of the oldest synagogues in the world. It dates back to the 3rd century, built in eastern Syria. In the 1930s, the French reconstructed it in Damascus to preserve it. All around, these stunning paintings depicting scenes from the Old Testament. To the left of this altar, Moses being rescued from the Nile River. Just above it, a representation of the 12 tribes of Israel. And down below, under the National Museum, this Palmyran crypt, reconstructed here years ago. It comes from the city that ISIS now controls and dates back to the Roman period, the same era as the temples that ISIS blew up in August 2015. These relief portraits that you see all around are tombstones that represent members of the same family that buried its dead in this 2,000-year-old underground tomb. This and all the treasures you've seen here aren't just part of Syria's heritage, but the world's, caught between the warring sides. Safe for now.